Hi everyone, welcome again to another video. Now, this is the fly I'm going to tie. It's a midge pattern basically. It's an old, it could be, some people think it's a black pennel. It's very like a black pennel. It's very like a fly they call the kihi, and it's a style of fly that some would recognise as what they call a DuckFly pattern. The DuckFly, well, the fly, it's actually a midge, represents a midge. Now, the reason they're called duck flies, or get the nickname duck flies, because the ducks feed on them when they're hatching. Ducks go along picking them up. When there's a great hatch, you'll see them feeding on these small flies, or midge anyway. So I'm going to show you this pattern. Quite simple. Now, the hook choice is the competition heavyweight, in this case, the black nickel, which goes with the kind of dark fly, the black fly. You could use a bronze version, whatever. Thread colour, just using black again to go with the fly. You could change that. You could. Fire orange is a good colour. I've tied some with fire orange in the past, just for the head area actually. It works for the head. Now, on the way down, I'm going to tie basically what this class is the undertail. The undertail being, I'm just going to use this uni stretch. Now, you could use the Glow Bright Floss, number 11. You could go number 12, which is the kind of darker green. Or you could go even number 4, which is red. And other colours, there's oranges. You could tie this in different colours, but this is a Chartreuse, and I'm just doubling it up. So there are 2 strands there just to form that. I'm just going to bring them together. Just line up the ends. So those are getting a wee bit blunt. Just the very edge is losing its edge a wee bit. So that's where you normally lose it when you're tying so many flies. So anyway, work way down, you're tying the 2 lengths. I'm going to wind until we're in line with the barb of the hook. So meaning like when I let the thread go, it should be in line. I just come in and use obviously the sithers up against the back of the bend and trim. That gives you a nice wee tag of the floss. Tail, I'm using Golden Pheasant Tippet. Now you can change the tippet. You could, if you don't want to use tippet or you can't get it, it's getting a wee bit harder to find nowadays. I mean, you still get it, like, but it's not as easy gotten. You could use black Hackle, red. I've used red, even orange, or a mix of red and black, which works. You can mess around with the tail, but anyway, I'm going to stick with the tippet. A good half dozen fibres. Just hold the end of the feather, trim away what you need, slide the feather away, and then we've got our tail. Length, it's up to yourself really. You can have them short, long. If you measure around about the shank length or body length, you shouldn't be far wrong at that. Now I'm going to rib it with a silver wire. This is a small silver wire. Now what I'm going to do here, I'm just going to secure in the materials. Just run your thread up and quickly come back through. And you stop it maybe 1.5 mil from the tail. Then I'm going to, this is dyed Peacock Herl. So 2 to 3 lengths. A couple of lengths is fine for this size. Bigger flies, if you want a wee bit heavier, you could use it 3 lengths. I'm just going to line up the tips a wee bit. Come over with a turn, just pull it in. It's not very bulky fibre, so we can run our way up. Now you need a couple of mil at the top for the hackle and for the wing buds. So I'm winding the Peacock Herl towards myself. A nice shape. There we are. It's going to naturally taper anyway because the fibre, the stem gets a wee bit heavier. Now because I wound towards myself, I've got to go over the herl and then with a turn and a turn onto the hook to lock it in. And the main reason for winding the opposite way is when I wind my thread I wind away, and when I wind my rib up I wind away from me. So I'm going to cross rib the herl. You're going to see the rib a wee bit better. It's going to cross rib the Peacock Herl, and it's going to protect it. And that's probably one of its main jobs, is to protect the herl. Screw that in. bend and break away the wire, and there we are. So there's your body done. Now for the wing buds, now in the past I've used jungle cock. Now you can put the wing buds on before the hackle or after. This one is actually before, so it's right inside. You can, as I say, you can do it different ways. You can put it on the outside. And this is just a goose biot dyed a hot orange, so it gives the impression that if you had jungle cock, if you haven't got jungle cock, you could easily use something like this. Now I'm going to show you how to do it before the hackle and how I tie it in. So I've got two lengths off. Just going to line them up first before I bring them down here. So I've lined up there. You can see the natural curve in the fibre. You want the natural curve, so when you put it on, it comes onto the side and kind of sits round the body. But I'm going to tie it in. Now I'm looking at the thickness of the biot and how thick a wing bud I want to get. So it's easier just to tie it on. So push, bring it down either side of the body. Come around with a couple of turns, just to sort of see how it's sitting. I prefer it straight along the body or the side like that, which is fine. Just run your thread up, nice and tight, come back to the biot. Keeping the thread tight, you can actually tear these off. Gives you a really neat, see a right neat cut, but you need to have a few turns in there to do that. Now I'm going to be using a cock hackle at the front, but before I do that and get carried away, I'm just going to trim the wing buds. So I'm going to trim them maybe 2.5 mil from the where I tied them in. You can see there. Now all I'm going to do is taper them, so I'm just going to put an angle cut. So you get a reasonable taper. It's not good, that's not brilliant, but it's okay. So you basically just take the corners off. See what it's like. There we are, that's fine. Now back to the hackle, there we are. So we've got this is a Chinese neck, cock neck. Now the reason, and we used a lot of cock necks, well I did anyway, I mean a lot of people did. In a Chinese cock you could use the smaller feathers at the base for tying trout flies, dry flies, wet flies even, like this case. You could do the same with salmon flies for the bigger, so you'd a cape that you could use in a lot of flies, and that's why they were so popular. And when I started, that's all there was. Now I'm going to take away the fluff. Just going to tie this in at the base. Leave it wax on my thread. Make sure there's wax down and it's got a nice base of thread with wax on it, so it gives you grip. And then we just bring our hackle up, draw it through our fingers nice and light. That will fold the fold very easy. And basically you're going to wind on the stem on that edge and draw back the fibre as you wind up. Now I'm going to use up this hackle. You don't get many, it depends on how good the fibre is. Once we're happy, 3 or 4 turns, you can fold these back, fold the tip back, break it off, tidy the head area up. When you whip finish, I mean it's looking a bit straggly at the moment, but a wee puff with the hairdryer, or even if you don't do that, a couple of casts and you'll get a nice shape. You've got to remember you are winding a hackle, and it's, as you wind round you catch the fibre as you wind, so it kind of puts it all over. A wee bit of heat just brings it back to the shape. So I'm just bringing it out. You see how it's coming round nice. You see your shape there. Now if you want to see more of the biot, you can come in and just take away the fibres round about, just like that. So it opens it out a wee bit. Do the same on my side. Obviously by using the hairdryer you can actually see where the ones are sitting. It just opens it out a wee bit, so you get a nice shape in the fly. There's the tail. All you have to do now is just a wee bit of varnish in there. all the way around. And there we go. And that's basically, it's basically a key, so it's a kind of DuckFly key, if you want to call it that. So it's like, it'll represent the midge when the ducks are feeding on them. And it'll represent, because of it's like an upper, it's like, what do you call it? An addition to the original fly. And as everybody will think, it just looks like a black panel. If you take away the yellow tail, or the Chartreuse tail, it's basically just like a black panel. And you can do exactly the same. So there we are, folks. Simple weed fly. Great pattern to have in your box. As I say, the best sizes, the beginning of the season, obviously 12's probably the most popular, but 12's, 14's, and you could even go 10's, because the midges do get big in some of these locks. So anyway, hope you enjoyed the video. And like always, thanks for watching. Until next time.